Hi, this is Homay from Spitfire Audio with a walkthrough on the Alex Epton library called Entropy. And Alex himself is an incredible producer, composer, and in-house engineer for Excel recordings. And he put together this incredible palette of sounds through his love for modular synthesis, his self-built pedals, and other techniques that I want to show you. So let's have a look into this library. So it's divided into 3 different parts. You have synthetic sounds, sound design, and percussion sounds in here. And then on the left-hand side, you can shortcut to these patches via the subcategories here. Okay, let's go to the top. Here we have a modular long. And if you click in the middle of the big dial over here, you get all these different effects. And the ones that are active are highlighted with the corresponding patches. So for this one, for example, you get reverb and release. Let's try turning both of these up. Really lovely sounds. Let's have a look at the next one. It's called a modular short. And all the patches that he's done with this modular, we've given you a little bit of a hint within the name. This one has reverb on. Really great sound. Let's try this one without reverb. The next one is a looping bass drone. Really love the grittiness of this one. You can find some chorus in here, release and reverb. Let's maybe turn up. Let's try it with release as well. And let's crank up the reverb too. The next one is called a long underpass. Again, let's turn these two up. I'm really loving the tail of these releases. The next one is drippy steel drum. With this one, you get a delay. So if you turn up the dial over here, you get the mix of the delay in there. So that is with. And here it's a little bit less in the mix. Let's turn it up and see what it sounds like. That's just me putting the pedal down, just so you get a bit of a sustained note in there as well. That's without. I really can imagine using some of these sounds for something really suspenseful, something you want to create tension with, maybe something eerie, but I'm sure there's lots more you can do with this. What's the next one? A sub bass. I always find it super useful to have a great sub bass. Really loving this one. Another feature that you can find with this one is the portamento, which is really cool. So if I turn that up, that gives you sort of the time it takes to slide from one note to the next. Taking a bit longer all the way up. And then faster the further down you go on the dial. Then additionally to this one, you have something called variation. So coming in the sound that you've just heard, and then if you dial it up, it sounds like this. Let's move on to the modular clean drones. Has this really lovely build throughout. So I've just been holding down this middle C and it kind of just nicely built throughout. Okay, let's have a look at one more synthetic patch with the modular feedback. Really bold sound, which I love. But I have to say, I'm loving these sounds even more when you turn up the release and the reverb. Really, really amazing stuff. Let's move on to the next section, which is the sound design section. And here we've got a patch called Layer Textures 1. I find this one really beautiful, instantly just really lush sound. Then there is Layer Texture 2, and I think this is one of my favorite sounds within this library. Super lovely sound. And Layer Texture 3. Going into the last section of this library, we have the percussion section here. For example, some paper that he's just ripped up and was scrunched up and then put through some effects and created these really fun textures. Here he's got a Ludwig bass drum. And let's have a look at this one. Some of the reverbs that you've heard are actually impulse responses that Alex made. One is a spring reverb, one is a plate reverb, and one he actually made in an abandoned oil tank. Here's another patch called Distorted Paper Snares that is made with his distortion pedal. And then there's one more patch that I want to show you, which is another one of my favorites. It is called Process Percussion. Definitely a lot of fun to have with these sounds. I think you can create a lot of impact with these, create some distress, add some distortion to things, just lots of things you can do with this. I hope this gave you a good impression of what this library can sound like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.